Hello and welcome. Today I'm bringing you another Force Master video from Blade and Soul. This time I'm showing you me soloing Brightstone Ruins as a Force Master. Yes, this actually does require quite decent gear. Like, look at it, I have high crit rate and high crit damage, and my defensive stats are good as well. But the main thing is that I want to show that Force Masters can do this dungeon fairly quickly. This run takes about 13 minutes and 45 seconds, so it's a bit slower than Assassins and Summoners, but it's still up there. I mean, you can probably do it a lot faster. I will have a link to my build in the description. I would like to note that I use the Divine Veil that I do because the ranged attacks that you get that it counters heal quite a lot, especially coupled with a 15% basic heal. Anyways, on the first boss I pick up one of the guards and I put him unconscious, and I then keep essentially running around in circles. I do the basic right mouse button, left mouse button 2 rotation when the target is on fire, and I try to use my impact, or I mean force blast key, which is the 1, to set the target to be burning. And I use my cooldowns like Meteor, Inferno and Dual Dragons and stuff. Right now I messed up, I stood in the fire, that was a bad idea. This is actually a reason why you want to have that one additional point in Second Wind, that is the tab key, which I can do because I am Hong Moon level 2, but the link in the description is Hong Moon level 1. So it's not quite the same. Anyways, this is another mess up for me, and right now I can't tell what's happening, so I use my ice armor. Okay, so I understand I need to press tab once I get out, and I do, and then I will just keep kiting. This first fight usually isn't this tricky, but I keep messing up here over and over. I guess it would have been better to kill the ads really quickly, because they keep CCing me, and that's like unfortunate. I use the bubble here because it does give a 15% heal over the duration of the bubble, so it's really useful. It's actually a bigger heal than tab, which is interesting. Anyways, essentially this boss doesn't really do all that much that you need to be aware of. Like, even if you aren't that well geared, if you keep running around, that's fine. Anyways, because of the way I spec'd, if I need HP, I can... I really want to use Frost Fury, because that one heals for a lot because I have high crit rate. Anyways, I set the caster minion unconscious, but because of the way the poor targeting system in this game works, I managed to hit her once again, so she cast a spell, and now I'm gonna kill her, the boss. If I hadn't killed the boss here, he would have cast an AoE, which I would have wanted to use either Ice, Sheath or Tab on, like, because it covers essentially the entire room. Although maybe you could iframe it, I'm not sure, because I don't really see it that often, because he dies before. The main tricky part in this dungeon is actually the second boss, so that's the one that is a showstopper for most people. So right now I mainly want to kill the smaller ads, because the guard captain was frozen, and he likes throwing bombs if you stay at range, so I kinda don't mind fighting him and leaving him last. I imagine you could actually skip some of the mobs here and increase your runtime by quite a bit, but I don't really know that much. I haven't done this dungeon solo enough times to figure out all the patterns and stuff. I just know that the first time I did it, it was actually before the latest patch, and I used the Moonwater Arena Soul Shield mainly because on the second boss it helped a lot, because the defensive stats made it actually possible. If I was in my crit and lower HP build, I actually died over and over, but if I ran it with Moonwater Arena, I did fine most of the time, although I still had failures. But now, after the patch, it's a lot easier. Anyways, the strategy on this boss is to grab one of the bodyguards, set him unconscious with 4 and 3, then start attacking another one and pop the bubble shield. Like look, 80% HP, and I take a few hits and I'm full already. So now I kill the other bodyguard. I used F here because it will hit the boss and the guy behind him. I like standing not in the middle of the bubble, but on an edge, because if the boss uses an ability that causes ice on the ground to appear, it will appear in the location where I was standing, so there's still room inside the bubble for me to not get hit by the ice. Like, look at the damage. Before the patch I had to actually iframe his attacks, otherwise I would still die, but after the patch it's not that big of a deal. Although it would still be nice to use E and Q for it, I guess. When the assassin spawns, I grab her and I set her unconscious again. And then I go on the other side of the arena so that I don't accidentally get the targeting system messed up to hit the assassin again, like you saw earlier. The important thing is to keep moving against the assassins, because the assassins will knock you up and they will essentially mess up your day. So at this point it is a DPS race. This would actually be the point where you would want to have the shield which moves with you, but I find that the earlier part of the fight is almost as tricky as this one. So I really like having the shield that heals me. But yeah, right now I just need to keep moving so this assassin doesn't kill me. I mean, you saw him CC me already, and you can imagine what happens if this fight goes on for longer. Like, look at this. And if the boss combos me here, I would be pretty screwed. Also, I woke that assassin up because the targeting system, again, is amazing. I'm joking, of course. Now it's time to kill the assassins and move on. This actually takes like half the time of the dungeon to do these two bosses. But at least it's done, and now the most difficult part of the dungeon is actually over. It's a lot easier to fight the last boss, in my opinion at least. Essentially, because there's 4 of these, I really want to AoE them when possible, and now I want to jump around with E, double S, then to start moving towards the boss room so I don't, you know, have to walk empty. The thing is that you can't directly run away from enemies, because backpedaling is slow, and if you run from the side you can't cast your spells, so you have to keep turning one way and the other all the time, which is a bit annoying, but you get used to it over time.
You cannot do that right
this
now.
mob reset for some reason. I did not know that actually, that he would reset here. Okay, no point in killing him because he doesn't give me anything. The nice thing about these guards is that they will keep their range if you keep their range. They will keep throwing bombs. And look at my HP. Look at how much these bombs heal me. This is like crazy. Like already full HP. It's really nice. The other thing this healing divine shield is useful for is Baran's dungeon, where you have these gunners that sometimes use their rapid fire ability. That's like a full heal right there. After the patch you can actually get dragon blood here. You don't really need it, but it's, you know, a safety measure. So in case you fuck up, it's possible for you to keep doing the fight without having to restart from 0 again, because if you die here, the bosses reset unlike a party fight. Anyways, the fight starts with the Emerald Lord. The important thing against the Emerald Lord is to always keep within melee range, because if you run away too far, he will start rolling. And the roll has a massive hitbox. And if they hit you, they will knock you down, and it does massive damage. Anyways, he jumps after he gets to 75% HP a number of times. Essentially, you can just keep running in one direction and the jumps will not hit you. So, if they do hit you, however, he will put the poison on the ground. The Azure Lord will jump, and this jump is so big you can't run out of it. You have to either double S or E or Q it. The orbs that spawn they deal damage, but not that much that you have to kill them immediately. Also, because they are rapid fire, these orbs heal a lot when you use the bubble. I want to get the Azure Lord to 75% and then go and kill the orbs. Because right now, if I stand here, or more or less around this area, and Emerald Lord spawns and jumps in, he will be in a place where I can stand in melee range of him and still hit the Soulstone cores. Like, look, right now I'm not in melee range and he rolled. If I hadn't iframed that, that would have hurt a lot. But anyways, I want to get this to 50% and kill the Soulstone. But the important part is to stay within melee range of the Emerald Lord. When you don't stay within melee range of the Azure Lord, he will throw ice projectiles at you, which hurt a lot, but it's easily you can easily iframe it, much more easily than the rolling of the Emerald Lord. Also, when I am hitting these Soulstone cores, I want to keep moving, especially when the Emerald Lord is spawning, because he will jump at me, and the problem is that if you don't keep moving, then you might not actually make it out of the circle that he lands in. On the other hand, you cannot run outside of the circle of the Azure Lord without using a movement ability, so you have to make sure that you use either EQ or SS to get out of it. Although I guess it's possible to just iframe it too, so... Okay, now I want to stand somewhere in the middle here, so that when the Emerald Lord spawns, he will be... I can hit the Soulstone cores while still being in melee range of them. Also, don't get hit by this breath attack, because that one hurts and it knocks you down. At around 30%, I believe, both of the Lords spawn at the same time, the Azure Lord and the Emerald Lord, so you have to watch out for that one, because the Azure Lord is going to jump in. You want them to be as close as possible to one another so you can melee range both of them. See, he's spawning, so I'm going to E and jump behind the Emerald Lord, and I will still stay within melee range of both Lords. Like right now, I just messed up and I got frozen there, but it's okay. And I got hit again, but I really want to stay within melee range and finish off the Emerald Lord, because it's okay if the Azure Lord does his stuff, but Emerald Lord can lead to an easy death, because once he knocks you up, he will knock you down and throw you back, and then the Azure Lord usually jumps, and then he lands on you and you get knocked down again, and then the Emerald Lord rolls again, and essentially you end up dying because you get comboed. But once the Emerald Lord is down, this fight is pretty much over, because this guy has like no chance. Should be used to this fight actually, because Mushin's 6th floor has the Azure Lord. Sometimes when you take too long, they will cast their various abilities that you need to Ice Shield, so having Ice Shield available is still useful, and that's how I got to Moon Water Tears solo on a Force Master in less than 14 minutes. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.